It's weird to say, but I've been using my Switch 2 for about a week now. I went to the midnight release, and ever since then I've been playing it non-stop. So I figure, in the interest of following up on my State of video, I wanted to review the console and its major launch title, Mario Kart World. Now just like my last video, I have a lot more to say about Mario Kart than the console itself, so we'll start there. I went to the midnight release of the console at my local GameStop. It was cool, but the crowd wasn't great, so it was just pretty fun for me and my sister. It all went smoothly though. I got the last bundle of physical Street Fighter 6, well, a physical, and digitally I got Welcome Tour and Deltarune. A pretty stacked lineup if I had to say. The setup went well. I was a little annoyed because during the setup, it never told me that I can't do the system transfer later. So some of my old save files are just stuck on my Switch 1, which is fine, but I would've liked a warning. Once the Switch 2 was set up, I just played Mario Kart for the night on the new Joy-Con. And the new Joy-Con are amazing. The buttons feel better, the joysticks are smooth and feel great, the magnets they attach to are super strong and feel really secure. And they look good too. I wasn't a huge fan of the look of the controller, but in person they look great, and the mouse is really cool. I am having a bit of trouble using it comfortably, but since it's such a new concept, I'll give it more time. It's just a little weird to use a mouse on my lap, you know? However, as good as they are, I have two major issues with the Joy-Con. Firstly is the wrist strap. What's so nice about the original straps is that they raise the L and R buttons, but these don't. The buttons aren't as small, so it's not a huge issue, but it still doesn't feel perfect. My second problem is the grip. It functions and it's passable, but the gap left by the Joy-Con is super weird to hold. And finally, my biggest problem with the Joy-Con. My fingers get caught because I'm clumsy and I go owie owie owie. It doesn't hurt like crazy, but it's scary when it happens. As for the console itself, it's a bit bigger and heavier than I expected, but it feels great in my hand. And I love having a functioning kickstand for once. Though, it makes me nervous when I pull it out. I wish it was just a little bit thicker. My only two complaints with the console is the place you put the cartridges in. It's easier to open than before, but feels a lot more flimsy. And having to use microSD express cards are really annoying since they're so new. As for positives though, the screen is amazing, really big and bright, and it feels just like I'm playing it on a TV, where before on Switch 1, playing on handheld felt like a downgrade. But speaking of upgrades, I cannot stress enough how nice it is to have a decently powerful Nintendo console for once. Playing a game like Street Fighter 6 with no real compromises is amazing. I'm loving the buff frame rate and resolution on Switch 1 games, and I can't wait to replay Scarlet and Violet in 60 frames per second. It feels like a whole different game. I cannot wait to see how Nintendo uses this boost in power. Because with PlayStation, they just made the games more realistic. I feel like Nintendo will use it more creatively, like with Donkey Kong coming out soon. In the last video, I said the UI wasn't different enough, and while I stand by that, I will say it is nice how much faster this menu is. Like it doesn't take a year to load the photo album. Now this is where I talk about the dock, but I don't really have much to say. The only thing I have to say is I'm glad Ethernet's on it, but it's just a dock. Now that the console's out of the way, I did want to briefly touch upon the rest of my launch lineup. Street Fighter 6 is an extremely impressive port for day one, though I wish it wasn't a keycard. I like having any cartridge, but it is disappointing, and it's also disappointing they don't taste as bad. The case for Street Fighter 6 looks great though. I love the spine being different so I can actually tell games apart on my shelf. With Switch 1, it's just a red blur. With Deltarune, I'm still going through it, so besides some visual bugs, I don't have much to say. And Welcome Tour is actually surprisingly fascinating. I like it a lot. Overall, I'm loving the console. It's definitely going to be the newest way I play everything. It's a joy, and I'm loving having to play every Switch 1 game again just to see if they run better. Like Cars 3 runs better on this thing, and I'm the only person who ever would have noticed. This console's amazing. And now it's time for the main event, the moment I've waited years for, Mario Kart World. Let me say, this game is amazing. I think it's very polished, and it's some of the most fun I've had in a Mario Kart game. But I feel like every positive aspect about it has a big but after it. Let's start with the overall moment-to-moment gameplay. This game is by far the most fun I've had controlling a Mario Kart game. While 8's a bit easier to control, jumping and tricking multiple times in the air are perfect additions to make the game way more fun. You may remember that I was worried about the game's balancing, but it turns out the game is so chaotic, it's actually harder than 8, and I love that. I have a real challenge against these CPUs for once. Like, I was surprised how much Gambit contributed to the chaos. And the speeds are good too. 150cc feels way faster than it was in Mario Kart 8. 100cc feels fast, but controllable. It's how I played it for the first time so I can really experience the tracks. And 50cc feels decently fast, just slow enough to let beginners figure it out. It's great, and mirror mode is here too. And speaking of great, the roster is great. I love having the enemies and all the costumes except for Pauline and DK. You only have like one costume. Why does Baby Rosalina have the same amount of costumes as Bowser? I just wish some characters like Shy Guy and Bowser got more costumes. Unlocking the costumes is pretty fun though. You can rush it if you want, but you can also just take your time. I think it's a good way to let players choose how they experience the game. Want to know what wasn't fun to unlock? My goat. The Kamek unlocks are some of the worst, most miserable unlocks ever. Thank God I only wanted Fishbones as a joke. If Toadsworth was locked behind this, I would have killed myself. It took ages to unlock all the enemies, and the annoying unlocks don't stop there. As of writing this, there's still no clear way to unlock mirror mode. I like the playground rumor aspect of it, but it made it very hard to write this review, because I wanted to try a bit of everything. Now, I want to go through every major mode, but before I do, we have to talk about this game's presentation. From the beautiful graphics to the amazing soundtrack, and I mean amazing soundtrack. Not only is the original music good, I quite like Crown City and Rainbow Road, but they remix so much music, and every remix hits. From a remix of the Bowser Jr. theme from Mario Galaxy, to Dubstep Baby Park. Sometimes I just sit on the menu to hear a remix. Like the Mario Kart 7 Rainbow Road remix had me ascending. I would have loved a music player, or even a collectible to collect music discs with every track, because as of now, I still don't even know them all. Can they at least please add this soundtrack to Nintendo Music immediately? So now it's time for the modes, starting with Grand Prix. The tracks in this game are hit and miss. When they hit, but there are some major misses. The first Peach's Stadium isn't even a real track. Moo Moo Meadows is still here, and somehow that's not even the worst retro because Koopa Beach is the most boring circle of a track I have ever played. Not only that, but I feel like some tracks like Faraway Oasis, Boost Cinema, and Dandelion Depths don't do enough with their theme. I think this is because of the gimmick of traveling there. While it is fun, we just don't spend enough time in the main track, and it makes them all feel pretty underbaked. Not only that, but it limits their runtime. I think it would have been better to either let the tracks be longer, or do 2 laps on them to make them more memorable. This goes for some of the retros too. Tracks like Choco Mountain, Airship Fortress, and Toad Factory feel way too short. Airship Fortress especially feels shrunken down to the point it lasts like 2 breaths. Surprisingly, even though I don't like the original version of these tracks too much, the best retros are Peach Beach and Dino Dino Jungle. Both are basically just whole new tracks and I kinda love it. They really expand on their theme, and I especially like how Peach Beach lets you go into the town. And oh my god, DK Spaceport and Rainbow Road are some of the best tracks in the series. I really love them. And it helps that you actually experience the whole track in Grand Prix because they're 1 lap. I realize now I've just been yapping about the actual tracks and not the intermissions. The intermissions are fun, they just aren't very memorable outside of a handful of them. I like the ones to Bowser's Castle and Rainbow Road especially. They are really cool. Knockout Tour is so much fun. It's such a fresh and unique take on Mario Kart that I really love playing. It is hard too. I have a lot of trouble against the CPUs in this mode, especially on 150cc. The only issue with Knockout Tour is in multiplayer getting knocked out early means you just sit there, which is a bit disappointing. But other than that, I really love driving across the map with the threat of being eliminated. It is much more tense than Grand Prix. There's so much happening 24/7, it feels like there's no breather. So while I think Grand Prix missed the mark a little bit, Knockout Tour knocked it out of the park. Versus mode is obviously a lot of fun, and I love having an option for every single intermission race and the 3-lap version of those tracks. It makes it easy to get alternate tracks like Backwards Mario Bros. Circuit, but there is so little customization. The only item customization is Frantic or Normal. No shells only, no mushroom only, no items. And you can't play the tracks in order. I would have loved to play the tracks going from the Mushroom Cup to Rainbow Road. Instead, it's just random or choose. It's a bit disappointing, but I do like the option to do up to 4 teams. One of my favorite parts of Mario Kart 8 was mastering the tracks in time trials, and I'm happy to say that's mostly intact here. They need to add the lap times though. It's kind of ridiculous it wasn't even added. Besides that, it's still time trials. Let me preface this with, I don't even play battle mode in most Mario Kart games. I play it only if other people want to. But obviously for this review, I wanted to try everything in Mario Kart Tour. So I played battle mode. The main battle mode is pretty fun with 24 people all fighting. I really like that people can get eliminated again. I just wish that you could play a last man standing mode. But funny enough, this mode has the opposite problem I have with some of the racetracks. These stages are huge, and I end up just driving in circles and hoping I hit someone. They really forgot how to design battle courses after like the Wii. Now the battle courses for the main battle mode is fine for most of it. It's just when people start to get whittled down by elimination, you just wander a lot, and it's a little boring for the last 30 seconds. Now Coin Runners is awful. I just wander and I get like 3 coins, and I just don't get this mode. I don't get it. I played like 3 rounds of Coin Runners and gave up. There's just not enough coins in these huge stages. And for how long it takes for me to find someone to hit, I can't get their coins in time until someone else comes and picks it up. It's a really frustrating mode. Now I'm not going to spend any more time on battle mode because it will literally be a very tiny fraction of what I play in this game. So to relax a bit, the free roam in this game is calming. It's nice and relaxing and a lot of fun. I really like just driving around. There is just the problem of having no idea how many switches and peach coins are in the world. It feels almost impossible to 100%. I would have really liked a way to track it, especially because finding them most of the time is just wandering around. The missions are a lot of fun though. My favorites have been the hidden NES tracks and the one that just tells you to trust a pipe in the barn. It's fun, if a bit simple and possibly boring to some people. I think a simple like, oh, you completed 35 out of 400 missions in the menu would have helped a lot. Lastly, the online works really well. Way better than Mario Kart 8. I do think the free roam between races should let me and my friends do missions, but overall, a great experience when I played online. Do you see what I mean when I say every good ends with a but? Now, does this make the game bad? No, not at all. I'm just as addicted to Mario Kart World as I have been to every Mario Kart I've played. It's genuinely a great game, just held back by some issues. And even with those problems, I can't wait to master it and put hundreds of hours into it. It's weird. Simultaneously, this is my new favorite Mario Kart, but I also might think 8 Deluxe is just a bit above it. I'll have to play it a lot more to really determine its place. But it's a great game either way. If I had to give it a score, 4 Toadsworth out of 5 Fishbones. And for the console, honestly, I'm having a great time with it. So that's 5 whole Toadsworth! 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 Toadsworth!